What we do know is our sources have told us that the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles have signed Saquon Barkley to a 2-year extension, averaging over $20 million per year, $36 million guaranteed at signing, with $15 million more available in incentives. Obviously, nobody had this in their bingo cards. Nobody had a clue if Saquon Barkley was going to sign an extension. They thought he took less money to go to Philadelphia, and that thing was always settled. Instead, Howie and money team Ed, who represents Saquon Barkley, decided to get together, do what was right for the most electrifying, the most dominant, the most powerful player in the NFL this year, behind a great offensive line, a historic run to a Super Bowl champion, and add 2 more years at money that has never been seen before at the running back position. Now, I have more information on this entire thing regarding an extension for running back, 1 year in on a 3+ year free agency deal. Never been done before. Not even in the second league year has it happened for a running back. This is happening in the same league year. Howie wanted to make it right for Saquon for everything he did for the Philadelphia Eagles team. This is the largest fully guarantee for a running back in NFL history. It's the highest 2-year cash for a running back in NFL history. It's the highest 3-year cash for a running back in NFL history. Max average per year possible if all the incentives are hit, $25.85 million per year. Congratulations to Saquon Barkley and the Philadelphia Eagles for getting a historic, legendary, one-of-one deal done for a one-of-one running back who put the team on his back door. What a deal, what a time, what a run by Saquon. From whenever we saw in Hard Knocks offseason, Joe Shane saying, I don't think we'll be able to pay that amount of money with how much we're paying our quarterback and everything like that. The Eagles have a $50+ million quarterback on the roster and now a $20 million+ running back on the roster, while having A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, the best offensive line in football, and a tight end, Goddard, who's tougher than you are. Howie has continued to somehow do these magic tricks to stack a roster. On the defensive side, they're going to have to make some plays. They're going to have to add some people. Bradbury gone. Darius Slay gone. Zach Bond, potential free agent. What will they do there? We assume they'll figure it out because that's what they've done. Nick Sirianni, Big Dom, Howie, and the entire squad over there, Bradley Cooper included, keep Saquon Barkley and his powerful football team together for at least another 2 years on top of the deal they signed. Congrats to all parties.
Yeah.
Wow. AJ, it's a big deal, and I think it's a good olive branch from the Philadelphia Eagles to reward a player that has done so many amazing things for them in such a short time.
Yeah, I mean, credit to the Eagles in getting this done. $36 million guaranteed at signing. That's gigantic, especially for the running back position. And, yeah, the fact that they did this when they absolutely did not need to. They didn't have to. This is like in good faith, like, hey, you paid us back, and it's so much by the trade that we made to bring you in here and what you brought to this team in this city. I think this is awesome. We don't see this happen very often. Like you said, Saquon is one of one. This kind of deal does never happens actually in this kind of setting. So, yeah, this is awesome, man. Like, why? I guess why not? If you have the cap space and you can make it work, why wouldn't you do this? This energizes your whole team.
And remember, Saquon took less money to go to the Philadelphia Eagles than he could have got in numerous other places because of how much he appreciated the culture, the area, and the offensive line. Being able to keep him around, obviously how he knew was like, this is good, but also keeping him happy. Like, hey, let's let our star know that we love him here, and let's reward him for the year that they had, and we won a Super Bowl with this guy. Let's run it back. D-Butt, I love this move by the Eagles.
This is awesome. This is great. How he kind of always catches us by surprise. Nobody expected this to happen. You said first time ever going to re-up after the first year. And he took less initially, and it's kind of like everything you've seen Saquon do, I guess even in front of the camera, we don't see it all, but like the game where he didn't go back in to finish his single game rushing record or whatever it was. The single season rushing record, set out that last game, didn't chase that, but got the ultimate goal, went and got the Super Bowl, and now this is the team and the organization not doing good by their player, doing great by him, something we've never seen before, coming off an Offensive Player of the Year performance where he could have very well been the MVP. I love to see this not only for Saquon and the Eagles, but for that running back position. We've been talking about the position coming back, and once you get that money, you reset that market with not a bunch of Saquons out there, obviously, but you reset that market. So, these big workhorses will start getting their money again.
Yeah, it's awesome for some of the younger guys. And it didn't change the running back position, but it feels like it almost like redefined what you need to have. Like you need to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield. You obviously need to be able to, take the ball 60-plus yards when you have that space. And their O-line, it is the best in the league, so it's a huge, credit to them too. But if you're Jahmyr Gibbs, if you're, Bijan Robinson, if you're even like a Kyron Williams for the Rams, at least now you kind of know, like, okay, there is this new market available for us. And those older guys, it kind of stinks. And it feels like even for like Derrick Henry, you would think maybe Derrick Henry could get a new deal from this, but even him, he doesn't do what Saquon does when it comes to, the effectiveness in the pass game and stuff. They use Justice Hill a little more often than, any of the other running backs like the Eagles get, but it's great for the running back position because that's been a huge storyline the last few years.
How many mil do you think they added on for the jump over backwards thing he did?
Oh, that was at least 3.
Yeah, at least 3 million.
Had to be.
They were probably at like 17 million a year, and they were like, but
check this.
There it is. You see it? He did that. So let's make sure we reward that. And they're like, you're right. That's at least 3 a year. And then with the incentives up to 25 potentially per year. What a deal. Shout out to Money Team Ed.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Ed getting that deal done. I mean, that is a wonderful job, especially, you talk about everything. The Eagles did not have to do this at all.
At all.
Nobody would have really been able to grandstand about it either. Like, hey, you got to take care of Saquon. You got to take 2 years left on this entire deal. Like, he just got there. Like, they had massive success. Nobody would have been petitioning against the Eagles for not re-signing or giving Saquon Barkley more money. Like, if Saquon would have came out, which he allegedly would never do with the human that Saquon is, the way he operates and the way he's beloved in that locker room. But if Saquon was to come out in every single interview and be like, I need more money. I need more money. I think Eagles fans would be like, yeah, definitely. See, also, you got a couple years left in this entire thing. What's the precedent? How are we going to do this? So I don't know how, many people would have been like, yeah, give him more money with how this worked out. So them just being like, we got to take care of our guy. We got to make sure he knows how much we value him. We got to make sure he understands that we believe in everything that he's about. That's a beautiful thing to watch.
It sends a message to the rest of the team, though. Think about it. It sends a message to the team, too. Hey, if you come here and you do – you're unbelievable, and you're, we don't see all the behind-the-scenes stuff. We just know what we hear and how the guy is just the absolute pro at all times and unbelievable for his teammates. But it shows you, hey, we take care of our dudes. Even though, we didn't draft Saquon, we traded for him. He comes in and we take care of him. And I wonder who instigated it, who started this. Did Ed come to the Eagles and Money Ed Barry come in there and say, hey, we need some more cash, or did they come to him? How did this even start?
I genuinely have no idea. I wonder if there was a conversation that was had that was like, hey, don't you think, by either side? And it's like, yeah, actually, we should.
That does make sense, yeah.
Yeah, we should. And that's
take care of this guy.
That's the type of culture I think they're trying to build over there too, right? Sirianni talks about how much bonding and love and everything, because there is going to be adversity, especially in Philadelphia. Okay, there's going to be adversity in Philadelphia. Their fans are going to bring you some adversity, whether or not there is adversity. I mean, they're winning games last year, and people are calling for heads. They changed their style of offense. Their 2 wide receivers who have been paid, who are number 1 wide receivers on their own, had less pass attempts than rushing attempts for the entire offense, and they still kept everybody on board. It's like that culture over there, that building is in a very good spot, fresh off of the Super Bowl. Lose a couple key pieces, but this is what happens whenever you're successful. They keep Saquon. I assume they're going to be able to keep that offensive line. And if you got that, you can win any game. And I assume that's what they know over there.
Yeah, it seems like this would be something that was mutual because obviously when they acquired Saquon, if he stays healthy and he does all the things that you think he can do, he's going to have an unbelievable season. But I would even imagine that, what he did this year surpassed their wildest expectations. I don't think you assume a guy's going to rush for 2,000 yards. And for him, too, to realize, hey, I'm from this area growing up. I went to Penn State. This is where I want to be for, as long as I can be. So, yeah, if it's a little bit more money here, why not? And for them to know, the Eagles probably don't win the Super Bowl if they don't have Saquon Barkley.
Not probably.
Definitely. Yeah, that's right. You just, I'm not trying to talk in absolutes here, but yeah, absolutely. If they don't have Saquon Barkley, they're not winning the Super Bowl. So it makes sense. Let's not carry this thing out and drag it out longer than it needs to be. Let's make sure he's happy and get things done. And like you said, for Howie, you can do this kind of stuff when you have a bunch of rookies and young guys who are immediate impact players on your offense and defense, and you get a guy like Zach Bond who you paid for pennies, and then he has the season like he has. So it's just tremendous all around for the Eagles.
And when we talk about it being a mutual deal situation, there is a chance, because sometimes when players get these extensions, that the cap hit for this year could actually be better than what it was going to be on his current contract, and they do have a ton of people to pay. So as far as it being mutual, it could be a situation like that too, where his cap hit is actually better this season, even though he's getting more money, he's getting an extension, he's getting more guaranteed money, but it works out for the team and the player.
Go ahead, AJ.
No, I mean, I think that when you can spread it out and you give a guy a deal, it'll free you up cap space like right now in the moment. So I'm sure, it worked out for everybody. We get to take care of this guy that has done so much for this organization the short time he has been here, and it might free us up a little bit in cap space, even though we are making this guy the highest paid running back of all time.